Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be painting this painting in acrylic paint. I'll be showing you the full process and acrylic painting techniques I used for this painting, and I am going to be calling this painting Remember. Why Remember? Because with all this going on, it is March 2020, I just thought we should all remember how hard our nurses and doctors are working, and I included a lot of red poppies. Poppies being a symbol of remembrance, and we're sort of fighting this sort of war. I just thought it all kind of made sense. Anyways, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope this video will just put you in high spirits and give you a few minutes of relaxation. Get out your paintbrushes and let's get painting. I would like to show you this new product that I purchased about a month ago, and it's from Golden. It's a glazing liquid, and it's a slow drying extender for acrylic colors, and I absolutely love it. It makes acrylic paint glide on smoother. It makes your acrylic paint dry a little bit slower, and when you mix it in with the acrylic paint, it just makes the paint glide onto your canvas a lot smoother, and you get a lot more out of your paint. So a little bit does go a long way, and it looks opaque white, but it's actually clear, and when it dries you will not see it. And there are two finishes to this glazing liquid by Golden. There's the satin finish and the gloss finish. I actually got the satin finish because I don't really like that glossy look, but I know a lot of people that do use the gloss finish, and I don't really think there's a huge difference in the actual look at the end of your painting. And I only use it a little bit for example, for the background or wherever I want to extend a lot of paint. And it's actually better of using this sort of product than water, because using water with acrylic paints will actually degrade your acrylic paint. And a little bit of water is okay, but if you can get your hands on this product, it's a lot better. So I am going to just paint my background with this sky blue color, and I mixed it in with a little bit of titanium white to really lighten it up. I really didn't want it to be a dark blue. I just want it to be very airy, very pretty looking and pastel-like. So I have a lot of paint left on my palette, and if I just leave it there, it will dry out. So I am going to take this extra bit of color that I have on my palette, and I'm going to put it in my Stay Wet palette. This is another product, a new product of mine. I've always wanted to get it, and I finally have. And I've actually made a product review of this Stay Wet palette, and that will be coming soon. So here I am, I'm just adding the extra paint in that palette, and then I'm just gonna cover it up with the plastic cover, and it will keep wet, and I will be able to use it again at the end. It's really convenient. Again, if you paint a lot with acrylic paints, I really recommend this sort of palette, especially the expensive acrylic paint that is quite expensive. So I am using this Pyrrole Red from Winsor Newton. This is another splurge of mine. It's a professional paint color, and I really want to try it out, so I thought this was a great way to use it. Poppies have this beautiful bright red color, and this Pyrrole Red is especially bright and beautiful. So I mixed it up with a little bit of a lemon yellow, and I'm going to have two tones to this poppy. I'm going to go straight in with the Pyrrole Red, and then I'm just going to do a few of the other petals with the lighter red-orange color that I have on my palette there. So I'm just gonna wait for my poppies, my first layer of poppy colors to dry before I add the center. Keep in mind that this red is very staining, and if I tried to put color over top of it right now, it would totally just muddy my other colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint in my little yellow orangey flowers. And I did introduce a new color here, which is an orange. And I am just going to paint in my little pretty yellow orange flowers. I'm going to add a little bit of stems, and I'm just going to make my own shade of green. I'm going to take out this paint. It's an ultramarine blue. It's a liquid paint by Golden, and I'm just going to mix it in with my lemon yellow, and I'm going to mix it up. As I mixed it up, I noticed that it was a little bit too cool. I really wanted to warm it up, so I just added a little bit of red, and as you can see, it did warm it up. It's more of a sort of like an army greenish color. Whenever you make a mistake, you could just blob it out with a little paper towel and water. I'm just going to add my little stems and a little accents on all the flowers with that color. And a little bit of pistils around the poppies. I added them, making sure that my paint was dry. Okay, onto the hair. I wanted her hair to be sort of like a blondish color, so I took out my burnt umber, I mixed it in with a little bit of titanic white, and I added a little bit of that glazing medium to just make my brush strokes go on a lot smoother, just to make my brush make those curves in the hair go a lot smoother. And then I'm going to take Maple Yellow Light, and I am just going to add it just a few touches around the edge of her head, and a few strokes where the curve of her curls are going down on her ponytail. Okay, I'm going to do her skin tone, and this is a light orange from Golden, and it's pretty much a pre-mixed skin color. I am toning it down with that sky blue. I am just starting off with the undertone, so mixing in a little bit of that light orange with a little bit of that sky blue just to tone it down a bit, and then I'm just going to keep on adding layers and layers. Alright, now on to her ribbon. So I'm very carefully, even though this is in time lapse, I'm actually very carefully adding the red, Pyrrole Red, to her ribbon. It's such a vibrant and beautiful, thick colored paint. It really does cover a lot. So I'm going to try my best not to go over her skin or the background or even her hair. because it is very staining. And I'm just going to fill in the whole ribbon, and I will be adding on top of this just to add dimension. So I will just go in with my paintbrush. I'm using a filbert brush. A filbert brush is really great for curves. And here I'm just adding a little bit of shadow, and I just took a little bit of that burnt umber, and I'm just adding a little bit of definition there at the edge. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlights. Now, I'm going to be using a mixture of orange and yellow for the highlights. This is important. If you don't want to lose that vibrancy of this Pyrrole Red, this warm red effect, you need to use orange or yellow for the highlights. If you go in with a white, you will just make the red look pink. So that is my pixie tip of the day, I guess you can say. Okay, so I'm just going to let my ribbon dry a little bit before I go into it again, and I'm just going to work on the hair. I need those curls to pop out a little bit more, and I'm going in with my yellows and adding a touch just there in the middle, and I want to darken up her hair on the edges, so I go in a little bit with the burnt umber. I'm giving her hair a little bit more depth. If you've seen any of my classes on Skillshare, I do talk about how you work back and forth with your acrylic paints, and it's all about going back and forth and adjusting, and at least for me, I always take a step back and I go in with paint and see where I need adjusting. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of strands just to add movement to her hair. And as you can see, I just added paint. I just wanted to fix that strand there. I just go in again and add a little bit of squiggly lines, and this will create that movement in her hair. So I let the paint dry on her ribbon, and then I went in again with the orange and yellow mixture, and now I'm just adding a little bit of highlights on the curve of her ribbon just to make, add definition to her ribbon. And I'm just adding it to the middle, on the edge of the curve, and my red will still pop and not look so flat. Adding this red-orange highlight will just add a little bit of interest and movement to her ribbon. Again, I'm avoiding white on this color because it will just make the ribbon look pink after. So I'm just going to go over some of my poppies. Took a step back and I decided that I think I'm going to just add a little white top to her. She was looking a little bit naked. I mean, it looked quite nice just as it was, but I'm just going to add a little white cute top. And unfortunately, my camera died, so I didn't film this process, this part. But I basically went in with the white, and then I added a little bit of blue and burnt umber for the highlights and the darks. And there you have it. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and maybe you learned something new, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and keep safe, everyone. Thank you so much for all my new subscribers. It really means a lot, and if you like this video, please give me a like. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. And share this with someone if you think it will help them get their mind off things. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.